Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Welcome back.
So we hope you guys are doing wonderful out there.
Life is good here.
Yes, and we are watched.
Yes.
Now, we're watched in a good way, and we're watched in a not so benevolent way.
I know, it's important to differentiate the two.
Yeah, and okay, let me just start by, just all the energy work we do, all the sessions we do, which, since I started this now with Cindy, there's been thousands of different people that we've worked on and, contacted many, many, many guides and benevolent beings. And, just want to start off before we get into some of the, more mundane ways of this world. We are all watched and protected by beings that care very, very much about us.
Very much so, because when I talk to people, their guides start showing up. It's like they want me to say, tell them I'm here, tell them I'm here, tell them I'm here.
And sometimes it could be grandma and grandpa. Sometimes it could be, somebody else that was a best friend, or, we have one that it was his younger sister that had passed on at a very, very young age and is still with him all the time. And then there's those of the angelic realm, which are very, very real, and they appear just like you would expect an angel to appear.
They do. They really do. They show up and they're big and beautiful and magnificent, and their energy channels through that person, and it's fun.
And, they're there for people that are, Christians, Muslims, Jews, atheists, you name it, Buddhists, Hindu, we could go on and on, or no particular belief system. It really doesn't matter what your belief system is. They're still there protecting you.
That's the thing. They don't care what your belief system is. They're going to be there.
A belief system is a tool to be used. And so I just wanted to touch on that just quickly before we get into the other all-seeing eye that's watching us. And we all heard about that massive Russian hack, and you see it brings changes and uncertainty to the U.S. court system here. What has been exposed and released, and now what these other countries have as far as personal information and security information will make a lot of people feeling like they better cover up quick.
It sure should. Yep.
So, here, this was bad enough. And if we look back, we see this was from 2015. 22 million were affected by the OPM hack, which was done by Chinese hackers. And again, this was the Office of Personnel Management. And at that time, they had said that there was 4.2 million current and former federal employees that had been compromised. And well, now it's jumped up to 22 million. What was the real number? Who knows? But this is even more disconcerting. China's massive effort to collect its people's DNA concerns scientists. Genetic material is being collected from men across the country to help solve crimes, but researchers worry the data will be misused. We went on and we have said many, many times that Germany, Italy, and Japan, the Axis, lost World War II. But did the Nazis lose World War II, really? Who really lost it in the bigger term as far as what type of society are we heading to? What type of society do the powers that be want us in?
That's right. A lot of questions need to be asked and answered.
They were known to do an awful lot of genetic experiments, as well as, some other beings from abduction reports, those little pesky little gray guys abducting people and then doing experiments on them and taking genetic material. If you are into and you've studied any of these ufology reports and abduction reports, it's so common, taking the samples and especially the reproductive material. And some have even seen hybrid children in test tubes growing, things along those lines. As above, so below.
Yes, definitely. That's really key. As above, so below. We know it's a problem throughout.
And we know, of course, about the Uyghur people who are, doing labor. Basically, it's slavery. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing but slavery. You got to call it for what it is. And then we see this. And yes, the Fine Dining Ware country has stolen the personal data of 80% of American adults.
How did that happen?
Did somebody say whoopsie?
No, I think they said, nailed it.
The biodata
Yeah.
biodata of 80% of Americans may have been compromised. Biodata can determine a person's health. I had I had a naturopath that I really trusted, so I was a little bit iffy about getting genetic testing done, but she insisted just to check because there's some genes, like the one that they call the MTHFR gene, also known as, you know what, mother, that's what they actually call it. Because if you have that, you're susceptible to all sorts of diseases. So it'll give you tendencies, what things you are susceptible to. And, I was lucky enough to see that I wasn't, genetically predisposed to many major things. This is scary because if you know what people are susceptible to, you can thus, you could help them, or maybe something other than help.
Right. It's good maybe but the amount of information that they now have is just, to me, it's not quite fair.
The Chinese government may have stolen personal data from 80% of American adults, according to a 60 Minutes report. Bill Evanina, former director of the U.S. National Counterintelligence and Security Center, on Sunday appeared on CBS 60 Minutes when he warned that Beijing is attempting to collect and exploit Americans' healthcare information, including their DNA. According to the intelligence official, BGI Group, the world's largest biotech firm, oh gosh, it sounds like that thing they had going on, Raccoon City. You know that movie, Resident Evil? Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, several. That was Umbrella Corp. So this is the world's real Umbrella Corp. So anyway, you have this world's largest biotech firm approached Washington and 5 other states with offers to build and run state-of-the-art coronavirus testing labs. The Chinese firm also promised to provide technical expertise, high throughput sequences, and make additional donations to the states. Yeah, they've done a lot of lending and donating, but that's how you get people in debt to you. And then later on, when you come to collect and they can't pay, then that's when all of a sudden they have a port on your, over in your dock.
Yeah, they do. It's a nasty trick, but boy, it works.
Yeah, take over this, take over that. The whole thing. Can't pay the landlord. So the offer raised suspicions, prompting Evanina to issue warnings to the states against taking up BGI Group's proposal. Foreign powers can collect, store, and exploit biometric information from these tests, the CB tests. Knowing that BGI is a Chinese company, do we understand where the data is going? Well, 2005, there was a Chinese general that made a big statement, and I know a lot of you guys have been following us forever, understand that. Otherwise, I would Google it. There are a lot of people that have talked about this. So, and it gets into the poor Uyghur Muslims as well that have been so brutalized and just used as slave labor. This is sobering, and this is sad, and it's something that could get a lot of people pissed off, and really should.
Well, it's very, very real. It's a real threat that we have here, and it's disturbing, and it should let us all take notice and, keep our privacy private.
Exactly. And, with this, it's interesting, too, because there's no way this should incite any sort of yellow or red flags with a United States company, and which we'll see. We'll see how this gets taken. Unless it's under this direct influence of these influences, as we've seen, there's an infiltration that can happen, and a slow, steady takeover that can happen, and it's something just to be aware of.
Yes, it is.
So, guys, make sure you are subscribed. Thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. As always, stay prepared out there. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.